Police emergency.
Police emergency.
Please, you're South Yorkshire Police. How can I help?
When crisis strikes, these are the people we call for.
Whoa, whoa. Oh dear. Oh wow.
The ones who see us as we really are.
Fluffy bumhole, that's what you are.
There's no need for abusive language.
Put your arse away. Go on, put it away.
No, he's just gone on and on at me again for sex. Talking dirty again.
Pervert.
I still look at things and go, wow, I can't believe I've just seen that.
Get out on the floor now! Get down! Get down! Give me the sword forward!
These are the officers.
Get back! Get back!
Working on Britain's front line.
Anything could change at a split second.
Move out of the way! What are you on about?
And that's our job.
In a year that's tested us all.
Shops are going bare. We're living in a crisis now.
Times have changed, we've all changed, the whole country has been affected.
I'm checking. Nobody feels safe anymore.
They are the ones we turn to. More and more.
Are you all right, chicken?
You don't need to be scared. Where are you?
Let's get you up.
It's okay.
Hey, we've all been there. We stand together as a family, brothers and sisters, all on that thin blue line.
How long would you say it is once it's extended? Is it double in length? It's at least 12 inches then.
Sorry. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Staff in the South Yorkshire Police Emergency Control Room.
Does it double in length? If you're bloody lucky, it does.
Get used to hearing the most personal details.
I need the police, please.
So what's happened?
We just started. I'm talking dirty again.
A lot of people who call us on 999, they don't hold back with details. He had my legs in this position, he was doing this to me.
Been demanding sex to get off me and I don't want it.
Right, okay.
Get locked up and get away with you for being a permit.
I've had people explain in detail, you know, foreplay before.
You just started again about can I just have a wank behind you?
All right, we've got officers on the way to you. Lock your door and don't open it until they get there, all right? Thank you, bye.
Right.
Pervert.
South Yorkshire Police, how can I help?
Yes.
As recipients of unwanted sexual attention themselves, the call handlers know all too well how it feels.
Yeah.
We had a caller and he was doing inappropriate things. He was grunting down the phone, saying, "Can I see a picture of you?" And he was very friendly.
Sex is just natural, isn't it? When you hit puberty, that's what you start thinking about a lot. But some people cross the line between what's acceptable and what isn't.
Police emergency.
Oh, well, this is customer services at Barnes Interchange.
Hello, you're right.
We've got a gentleman who's exposed himself to young girls.
Sexual offences and how we're dealing with it is a major issue, I think, now more than ever.
What, has he done that now?
He's exposed himself to young girls up at the main doors.
I think these days we are more aware of what a sexual offence is, but even when people know it's not right, they still do it.
Do you know how to get to the rail?
Oh, no idea.
For a pit in November.
It's 1:30 in the morning.
Let's have a look. Where are we going now?
PC's Bernie Scott and Laura Ledger are returning from an incident in Sheffield city centre.
Can't even find my way around my own Google Maps.
Your fingers.
What do you mean, is it my fingers?
Old fingers.
Old fingers? I'll take sausage fingers, but old fingers definitely not.
What the hell is he doing?
What is going on?
What are you doing? Do you realise it's an offence to do that? You didn't.
I was only joking. I didn't realise.
You didn't realise what?
It was the police.
Regardless of whether the police are there or not, you don't do something like that.
What did you want us to be doing though?
With your pants down, and I saw everything.
I thought I had my boxers on.
No, I've seen you. Private parts, which I don't want to see.
Of course you don't.
And nobody else wants to see it in the street either.
Of course, I was just checking on my friends. That was
It's not I don't find it funny.
I don't mean to be you aggressive. I'm being quite relaxed, I thought.
Denying it means you know you've done something wrong. If you thought you were doing nothing wrong, you'd have said, so what? I've had my cock out for the whole world to see. What are they thinking? Does he think that because he says he didn't do it, we're going to go, oh, all right then, I must have missed it. Did you have some sort of hot dog sausage in your hands?
No one was there, that was
It doesn't matter. Your friends are there and we're there. Clearly had a lot to drink. I would suggest go on home.
Yeah.
Okay?
A shake hand or some sort of goodbye.
I don't think it's necessary, is it?
You can say goodbye and that's fine.
See you later.
You too.
Good evening.
Don't do it again. Absolute idiot.
I haven't had me snap yet. Put it away. Come on. Your mum will not be proud.
We should have took him back to his parents.
Decent exposure.
Trying to erase it from my memory.
Indecent exposure can carry a sentence of up to 2 years in prison, and in some cases, a place on the sex offenders register.
And it did make me laugh at the time, but it's absolutely not a laugh. He didn't actually seem to get it, why it was an issue. And for me, that's the problem, that he didn't actually get it. Those kind of offending behaviours can escalate. So if a boy at 20 is popping his todger out, yeah, it's all very funny. It's all very funny. But if it's acceptable, if it becomes the norm that that's all right for him to behave like that, and he does get some sexual gratification from that, the escalation factor is there. That would worry me. But it starts somewhere. Does it start with dropping your trousers in the street? My personal belief is, yeah, that's where it starts off.
Has it been busy?
Wouldn't say you've missed anything, but the night's still young.
On the other side of town, PC's Claire Foster and Tom Connor are on patrol as the clubs kick out.
Good morning. We've had an assault outside Tiger Works. The victim got a bloody nose by the looks of it.
Delta 82.
A CCTV operator has alerted the police to a suspected assault outside a nightclub.
Call the police.
You've been punched?
Yes, he's been punched in the eye. Do you know who punched you? Why did they hit you then?
Because he was sexually assaulting my girlfriend.
Right, okay.
And he touched my tits.
Right, okay.
And I said, could you please stop? And the guy was telling me he's going to shag me tonight. That's what he told me.
Okay.
And I said, I have a boyfriend. Please stop.
The thing is, we just came out here for a good night and then someone attacked my girlfriend sexually.
We were just dancing, having drinks, and there was some male next to us, and he kept like looking at me weirdly, and I noticed that, so we moved away a little, but he kept like approaching me. Then I just felt someone's hands on my breasts, and I was a bit like shocked, and he just whispered in my ear, he's gonna shag me. I was really angry.
The one that was touching my boob was the one that punched him.
So same guys punched your boyfriend and
Yeah.
sexually assaulted you.
I'm going to take a picture of your injuries if that's okay.
If you go with your girlfriend to a club, there's always a lot of people coming up and making advances, and you tell them to go away, and a lot of the time they become quite violent. I just think it's within culture, really. Men are more sexually aggressive. It's quite clear if someone says no, then it means no. The concept's quite simple. It's just some people don't particularly care about it.
Do you want to come and sit in the back of our car for a minute?
In recent years, the number of reported sexual offences in the UK has increased by nearly 15%. with more than 500,000 in the last year alone.
It always happens. Nearly every night out it happens. I'm even kind of used to it. I think it's wrong, but also I think that it won't really change. Like, there's always going to be someone out there with this wrong opinion that women are asking for it.
Yes, it's just in relation to the incident outside Tiger Works. Just wondering if you got a better description of the offenders and what direction they went in.
We haven't got any, unfortunately, no. Molly Malone's were kicking someone out at the time, so our camera was up there.
No problem, thank you anyway. The best thing we can do is just take him to A&E, all right?
I think amongst all my girlfriends that I hang out with and socialise with, they've all been groped in their lifetime, definitely. In younger years, when I used to go out regularly, I have been grabbed and groped on the night out, and it didn't end well for them. They got a massive verbal mouthful of abuse. Makes you feel disgusted, because I've gone for a night out with friends, and the last thing I want is some stranger thinking it's okay to grab my arse. So yeah, now I've got resting bitch face and a big fat fuck off sign on my forehead, to be perfectly honest. When I'm out and about, do not approach.
We are in that culture where sex seems to be more prominent in everyday life. You can literally pick up an app, and if you're so wanted, yes, sex can be readily available to you. In the right situation, that's fine, under the right control. But because people get quite comfortable and complacent with that, all good sense goes out the window.
Yorkshire Police, how can we help?
I'd like to report my neighbour's daughter and her friend are up in the summer house.
So
I don't know if it's a crime or what.
Is it an ongoing problem with them?
They have done it before, yeah. But, you know, it's allus when the parents go away.
Sexual consent is an area often fraught with problems, and never more so than with teenagers.
They've got this light in it that can change what colour they want, and they all set it on like low red one.
Right, okay.
I think with teenagers, it is confusing. I think it was about 14 I started dating. Teenage boys have got hormones obviously flying around the body, but you don't know enough about those kind of things to be involved in them.
My daughter, she should be home, but now it's 1 o'clock.
What time does she normally come back from school?
She usually comes in maximum at 6 o'clock, but about 3 weeks ago I saw her when she was walking with a boyfriend, kissing and touching and everything, like she's 25 years old already.
Gosh, bless her.
We take a lot of calls from parents who are concerned about their children having sex.
I saw her with him hanging around, and she said, no, he just came with me like to let me home, like.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a teenager, I kept a lot of secrets from my parents.
I'm just scared because she looks really very like a small girl.
Yeah, and she's quite petite.
But I knew where there was a boundary.
You don't know when they're that age though either, you can't tell them, can you?
It's Friday evening.
Agency. Hi, I'd like to report my daughter missing. How old's your daughter? 15. What time did she go missing? I had contact with her up until 3 o'clock. I've had no contact with her since, and I know she's with this boy. And they found her at his house before, but I don't know where he lives. The officer's travelling, so they will be with you very shortly.
PC's Daniel Short and Katie Fletcher head to the caller's home.
Our first thought between us was just worry. She's 15. She's not telling her mum and dad where she is. Why is that? Why can't they get hold of her?
Hi, yeah, you're all right.
Are you expecting us?
Yeah, they're right, just come in.
We know a little bit from what they've told us in the control room.
Basically, she's gone out at 1 o'clock to do paper round, which is
this road, basically just this bit here.
Yeah.
She's gone out and done that, and it got to about 2:30, and I was a bit worried because it doesn't normally take her that long.
Mhm.
So we've driven out and we found her with 3 of her friends.
Yeah.
But one of them is a boyfriend.
Right.
He's older, and she's only 15, and every time he's on the scene, she seems to abscond. And
Right.
I said to her that finish the paper round and come home.
Sure.
And then that's
it. Right.
What are your main concerns?
that she's with a boyfriend that's older, and the last time she went missing, they'd had obviously intercourse.
Right.
And that kind of stuff into me.
It's concerning for you a little bit. It's concerning that a 15-year-old is with someone that is a bit older. The age of consent is 16. A lot of 15-year-olds do think that they know everything and they are grown-ups. A 15-year-old isn't a grown-up. I don't think they're mature enough to understand consent.
Her phone's definitely here. Have you had sight of it?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Bro, have you checked for her recent messages and
Yeah,
stuff
that's
like
what
that?
she told me to do on the phone, but there's nothing.
Yeah.
So he's 17. I can see the appeal is older. We can get the alcohol, we can get fags. But you as a mother know what goes on in the mind of an adolescent male.
Can I just go and have a quick look in her room? Is that all right? Yeah.
My biggest fear was that she could use drugs, could be that intoxicated that she doesn't know what's going on, maybe having unprotected sex. Being a mum, your brain just goes automatically to the worst scenario.
She hasn't packed her bags as such. Toiletries.
You don't took any clothes back up to it, innit?
No.
She was just planning to go out for 20 minutes though,
Yeah.
wasn't she?
OK. What we'll probably do is just try and have a look for her, but we're going to get officers to go and check his address. All right. We'll be in touch.
All right,
cheers.
You go from the worried to the angry, back to the worried stage. It's like, what the hell are you playing at? Why are you doing this? And then you go back to, oh my God, hope she's safe. Everything just goes through your head.
Roger, it's a 15-year-old girl. She's not packed a bag, she's not had any tantrums. She returned about 10:30 last night after her house party. So it's not entirely unusual. Her curfew's around 8:30 usually. We'll look at tasking Doncaster to do a visit at the potential boyfriend's address.
PC Short and Fletcher scour the area for the missing girl.
I feel so sorry for the mum. They tried everything they could and they'd still not found her. As a parent, I would want to get in the car, go to where they were and pick her up and make sure she was safe. But they'd looked everywhere for her and it was getting dark. They didn't know where else to go, which is terrifying.
The night wears on. And there's still no trace of Emily or her boyfriend.
It's quite scary, because especially when you hear on the news of all these people that are found but they're dead, or they're found but this has happened, and it's like, is that going to be her? Is that what's going to happen?
It's 8 a.m.
She just come in, went upstairs and sat in her bedroom. I don't think she spoke to us for about an hour. I'm just like, oh my God. You know, you're home, you're safe, you're fine. It's okay, I can breathe.
Just driving down towards this Mister's house.
PC John Bellamy is dispatched to check on Emily's welfare.
This one. Hey up. You alright, Joe? Do you want to have a sit in my car a minute? Mate, what's going on? You're with a fucking bitch. Why though?
Like, she's controlling everything. I can't even choose what the fuck I want to do.
Right.
And it's just pissing me off. And I have a boyfriend and
Right.
obviously she don't like him, but she don't have to like him, at least, like, let me see him and stuff.
You are classed as a child, and the way they see it is you can't make rational decisions all the time. So that's where, like, parents step in, because they might see a different side and think, do you know what, I'm not happy, I think there's something wrong here. She's just thinking, what intentions has this lad got? Is she going to end up pregnant? And I tell you now, whether you are doing anything or not, getting pregnant early is not good.
The law gets very complicated when it comes to situations like this. A 15-year-old cannot give consent for sex. However, it's not like the stereotypical, what you see in newspapers, the young child being took advantage of by the middle-aged man. It is a case of literally a couple of years difference.
Come on, Rachel, let's get him.
I think it's simply more of just a young boy and a young girl who formed a relationship.
Hello. All right. We've had quite a decent chat with her in the car. She's told me of different things and different reasons issues are going on. I appreciate I'm not a part of the family, so I will never know what is what. There needs to be a little bit of communication to try and reduce the ongoing issues.
I went out with two of my friends to do my paper round, and we was planning to meet my boyfriend, and we just stayed at my boyfriend's overnight.
Did you love him?
Yeah.
What did you like about him?
His hair. We did have sex, but he made sure that I wanted to do it, and I said yes.
One thing she has said, she really wants to be able to just sit down and have a proper conversation about things without arguments happening, things like that. We'll leave it there from our side.
Thank you.
Not a problem, thank you.
I was 18 when I was pregnant and I gave birth to her the day after my 19th birthday. I don't want Emily getting pregnant because she's 15. She's obviously having sex, but if you try and stop a teenager from doing something, they're gonna go out and do it a lot more. I just wish that she would talk to me about it. Yeah.
She spent the night there with her boyfriend. She'd come to no harm, not done anything, not been involved in anything. She's got no visible marks and is not saying anything whatsoever.
Although underage sex is against the law, if it's consenting and between teenagers of a similar age, the police will carefully assess whether prosecution is in anyone's interests.
It's very difficult to stop a 15-year-old having sex with a 17-year-old. You can't lock them in the house, you can't wrap them up in cotton wool. As a parent, you just have to do the best you can to make sure that you're looking after their safety and that you teach them the best they can about consent and boys.
I've got 5 children, 4 boys, 1 girl. As an adult, you are much more aware of the dangers within the world, and your child just sees everybody as nicely friendly, like, which is why the laws are there to kind of act as that buffer and that protector.
Police emergency.
I was minding my own business with my friends.
Right.
And then this boy came and told me to go with her.
Right.
And then, you know, I went with him. But stupid idea, I went with him. He locked the door, wouldn't let me out. Then started touching me in places I didn't want to be touched.
Right, okay.
The worst part about the job is probably hearing some people's stories, because sometimes it is hard to hear.
Then he got his spit down, forced me to touch it.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
It's very brave that people pick up the phone and they've worked up that courage to tell you, and he's spent all day or all week thinking about that incident and thinking about how he can go about it, and that's sat on his mind, and that's always something that plays with you because it's a big thing that people have to deal with.
What happened then?
You know, tried getting mine out.
Right.
And, you know, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Sexual assaults on teens by other teens are common. It's estimated that up to 1 in 20 boys and 1 in 5 girls fall victim to their classmates.
I don't think the lines of consent are blurred
As such, I think people are more trying to push the lines. Younger people maybe watching things that they shouldn't be watching. I think that that's okay, and I think that anybody's going to be okay with that because maybe they're okay with it. They think, well, they've not said no, so it's perfectly fine what I'm doing. But it's not, and they know that it's not.
Would you be okay if I could get some officers to come to speak to you at home?
Yes.
They'll have an understanding of consent because they learn about it in school. But I think they want to look cool, they want to be involved, and that can lead to pressure being put on them that they don't know how to push back from. They might not say no to something that they don't think is right.
You've done the right thing and we'll get this sorted for you, all right?
Right, thank you.
Which can be emotionally and physically scarring.
Emergency.
Hello?
Hello? What's happening?
Can you come? My husband is shouting me.
Is that him shouting now?
Yes, he said, why call the police?
Right, okay. Has he physically hurt you today?
He's holding me.
Like restraining you?
Yes.
In the last year, more than 50,000 rapes were reported in England and Wales. In almost half of those, the accused was a partner or ex-partner.
How many times has he tried to...
Any time, come and sex. Any time. Sleeping, he come and then he's forcing me.
He forces you?
Yes.
It's becoming much more common for women to report to their own partners for sexual offences. Husbands feeling they can do that to their wives because that's their wife. It's almost a property mentality.
Are you safe at the moment?
Yeah, I'm now in the bedroom.
Is it locked?
Yes.
Okay.
He's trying to door.
He's trying the door now?
Yeah.
It's alright, we've got officers coming to help you.
Okay, thank you.
In relationships, some men just assume you can have sex, but you know, it don't work like that. You can't just climb on top of your partner because she's your wife and have sex with her. It's wrong.
It's Monday morning, and another case of domestic rape has come in.
The officer's going to tell me why you are here.
We've arrested him on suspicion of rape, necessity criteria being protect a vulnerable person and prevent causing further harm.
PC Tom Wilkes has just made the arrest.
Circumstances are, we've attended the address following reports of domestic. Both parties are in distress, both are crying. On speaking to the female party, she stated to us that she was asleep on the sofa this morning and she's woken up to him having sex with her and she'd not consented to it. He'd not tried to wake her up, he'd not told anything about it.
Do you understand the allegations?
Of course, I can.
As a result of what the officer said, I will be authorising your detention until we're in a position to interview you. Have you ever been arrested before?
Yeah, of course I have.
Okay. The officers are going to search you, make sure you've got nothing on you that could cause harm to you or anybody else.
Well, the issue's straight enough, really. If somebody's asleep, they can't physically give consent. Every bloke up and down the land has tried to have sex with his other half in the morning. It's part of a healthy relationship, isn't it? You've got to have consent. You know, you can't argue the point of, well, she was asleep, but she would have wanted it anyway. It doesn't work like that. It's something that we need to ask questions about.
The toilet in the room that you'll be going into is covered up because you will be put into what we call a dry cell until the officers have ascertained whether we need any forensic samples from you.
So I'm going to have somebody probably in my fucking cockpit.
Possibly. Depends on what the requests are made by the investigating officers.
I'm going to remember your information.
Just don't threaten, please.
No, I'm not threatening. I just said I'm going to remember it.
Okay, but don't start pointing fingers at people in here. Number 37, please, gents. You can see his clothing down there.
It's just extremely hard to investigate these offences. Because sexual acts do happen behind closed doors, it's very hard to collect the evidence and often ends up being one person's word against another.
At 6 p.m, the suspect is interviewed under caution by a detective.
Okay, you do have the right to independent legal advice. I know you've decided that you don't want a solicitor at this time.
No, I want nothing to hide.
Okay. So, you're aware that you've been arrested on suspicion of rape. It's alleged to have occurred this morning. Can you just give us a bit of information about what was happening throughout that evening?
Throughout the night, yeah, we was having a drink. We had a bottle of vodka, also a bottle of amaretto. I had 3 or 4 cans of strong lager, and
Sounds like quite a lot of alcohol consumed on both sides.
Yeah.
What effect did that have on her behaviour?
Everything was fine for a couple of hours. Then it's like, are you sure? You weren't shagging anybody. I'm not into all that stuff. I mean, I love you. I mean, and that's as far as it goes. And then obviously we were having an argument. She smacked me around a few times. Yeah, she can tell with my eye, my nose, side of my head, my arm.
You show me some marks and bruising on your arms.
Yeah.
Okay. Any sort of physical retaliation from you?
No. I think she just ran out of energy, to tell the truth, and obviously she needed some sleep, and so did I as well. And then obviously went to sleep at around 4.
Okay, so where in the house did you end up going to sleep?
Slept on settee, cuddled up to each other after a big argument.
So you gone to sleep, you were actually cuddled up together.
And then I woke up, I turned her around, started some kisses on the side of the cheek. And, one thing led to us having sex.
Okay.
Just like normal.
Normal vaginal sex.
Yeah. And then obviously we finished. I gets up, pulls my trousers up, and that's it.
Okay. Because obviously she's saying, I've woke up and you are having sex with her as she's woke up. And she's saying, this is normal. This is what happens in our relationship. I say no to him all the time, but he goes on and on at me, so I just let him get on with it.
No.
Is that how you would describe your sex life with her?
No. No, it's nothing like that.
So you don't pester her for sex?
It's not even worth the argument.
Because she's basically said, look, I'm not interested in having sex with you anymore. Is that?
No. She's my missus, man. I'm not even going to rape her. Stupid. Why would she actually say something like this? You know what I mean? I'd rather her accuse me of, slapping her or something like that than a stupid allegation like this. I mean, it knocked me for 6. You know what I mean? Being arrested on suspicion of rape. Wow.
Historically in England, a married man could not be charged with raping his wife. This was known as the marital exemption and wasn't overturned until 1991.
There's a lot more than just saying no to not giving consent. If someone's pushing you off, or if someone's drunk, or if there's body language that says they don't want to be doing it, that's still not okay to be doing what you're doing. And, just because they've not said that word doesn't mean it's not rape.
I don't think it's an educational thing. I think it's an attitude thing, personally. I think every human being, bar a few, will understand consent when it comes to sex, and will understand when they can and when they can't. There's probably some people out there with that old-fashioned view of, well, they're married, or, you know what, I'm a bloke, I can do what I want, and actually you can't.
What is your understanding of what consent is?
Obviously, we're kissing, so obviously that's like a yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Obviously, a kiss leads to a cuddle, and then a cuddle leads to intercourse. And that's exactly how it happens.
Okay. How would you know if she wasn't consenting?
Then she'd obviously push me away. So I don't feel like sex at the moment.
And do you understand as well that if somebody is asleep or anything like that, then that's also not consensual?
I know it's not. I know it's
but
not
you've said to us that you've never had sex with her while she's been asleep.
No.
She's always been kissing you back, cuddling, and to you that means that she's happy for that to proceed. Yeah.
Up and ready for it, yeah.
Okay. What you're telling me then is that you've had consensual vaginal sexual intercourse, and at no point did she, in your eyes, not happy with that happening? Okay. Time is 18:44, and we'll switch off the discs.
The suspect is released on bail pending further investigation and allowed to return home.
I couldn't imagine being in a situation where you've been raped or you've been sexually assaulted by a partner or somebody that you love or someone that, you meant to trust.
In the last 3 years, convictions for rape have halved. They now stand at their lowest level since records began.
I can only imagine how that must feel for the victims. To go through the process of reporting, make a statement, in some cases have to go through the traumatic process of examination, having to stand in court, and then to not get the results they were hoping for, that must be destroying for a person.
Emergency.
Hello?
Hello, you've reached the police.
Oh, wonderful. I was wondering if you can get some officers as soon as possible to the Sainsbury's.
Right, what's the emergency?
I've got a male apprehended who's 52-year-old and is arranged to meet a 14-year-old child this evening.
In the control room, the worst calls are the ones where children are preyed upon by adults.
You've apprehended this male at the moment, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, yes.
Right, is this person that you've detained offering any violence at the moment?
He is starting to get a little bit arsey, to be fair to you.
Right.
To have somebody they probably trusted to prey on them like that, I cannot find the words to describe how angry that makes me feel.
I woke up and he was on the sofa next to me, like with his hands on me. As soon as I woke up, I just knew that, like,
it's not right.
He was doing something.
Having to listen to them describe what's gone on is heartbreaking.
I was really hesitant to call at first because, like, I'm really scared of, like, him coming up with a story about me saying that it was okay and stuff when I had no idea and stuff like that.
No, you absolutely done the right thing.
It's estimated that there are currently 3 million adults in England and Wales who experience sexual abuse before they turn 16.
I trusted him like a friend. I'm just like mad scared because I've never been in this sort of situation before. I just can't stop shaking.
In roughly a third of cases, the perpetrator is a family member. It's 1 p.m. on Saturday.
Police emergency.
Hiya, I need somebody to come down.
And what's happening there, please?
My daughter, she's come home upset, saying that her dad got drunk last night and put her in bed with him, and they had sex, or he touched her.
It's okay, just stay calm. We're getting officers travelling, they're going to be there shortly, okay?
Rightio, so why are you here then?
Circumstances are this morning he's been in bed with his daughter and he's engaged with some form of sexual activity with his daughter, and he's been arrested on suspicion of Section 2 Sexual Offences Act, digital penetration.
Do you understand what the allegation is and why you're here? Yeah. Would you like a solicitor for interview? Right, we're going to put you in a dry cell, OK, because of the nature of the offence. So there's a sink in there, but there's no water will come out of the tap. And there's a toilet, but the seat's fixed down, OK, so you can't get the toilet seat up. All right, the reason for that is that the officers are probably going to make some sort of request for some samples from you at some point.
What I decided to do was actually come and interview him early to direct the inquiries.
The case is allocated to a detective sergeant who will interview the suspect.
Well, when I first looked at the case, it was clearly an extremely serious allegation. And there was the absolute horror of actually what has actually happened and what has that victim gone through. You certainly get an instinct as to whether you think that this has happened. What I have to do is put my professional hat on and look at the evidence and investigate it thoroughly.
OK, this interview has now been recorded.
And you have to make sure that every reasonable line of inquiry is pursued to get to the truth.
The interview has been conducted under caution, so you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention one question, something which you later rely on in court, and anything you do say may be given in evidence. You're under arrest for sexual offences committed against your daughter. This relates to an incident which happened last night. What time did she come to your house?
Probably about 6 or 6.
Tell me what happened from getting to your house.
I think it was my daughter said she fancied a drink.
What did you get?
A Lord's bottle.
So as soon as you purchased it, where did you go after that?
Back to mine.
Back to your house?
We were playing a drinking game, playing for a shot.
How long were you playing it for?
I don't know, about 45 minutes, an hour.
Can you recall how many shots each you would have had in that time period?
No, I've already well drunk by that time anyway.
How much had actually been drunk?
3/4 of it.
What happened then?
As I say, I laid in my bed My daughter asked me to go sleep downstairs, but I said it's my bed. If she wants to go sleep, go sleep in her own bed. She turned the lights off and off she got in bed. I think it's just because of her been drinking, I couldn't be bothered to move.
And then what happened?
I remember touching my daughter.
Tell me what happened with that part of the incident.
I just touched between my legs. That's all I remember, I swear. I don't remember anything else. I woke up in the morning, my daughter was gone. Shouldn't have done. She's my daughter.
Do you understand it's a criminal offence to do that, to touch your daughter in that way without any consent and being related to her as well? Do you understand that? Do you understand by what you're telling me is that you're admitting parts of an offence which are criminal?
Yes.
But the defendant admitted to sexually touching the victim. It seems to me that his world had come crumbling around him. He was upset, he was quiet, he was emotional. However, I got the impression that he was certainly watering down his involvement, that there was potentially more to it than what he was admitting to.
What's the next thing that happened?
I don't remember after that, until the morning.
So are you aware if anything else took place?
If it did, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember.
When somebody's telling the truth, it's very easy to put a lot of detail into your account. At the start of the interview, he was able to offer me a lot of detail about his movements, where he'd been, purchasing alcohol, what types of drinking games he'd played. But at the exact moment you're accused of doing something really serious, you can't recall. Why is that? When you're lying, the level of detail drops off. Now, it was difficult to believe that somebody could remember things to that level of detail right up to that point and then forget everything that's happened from there on in.
She was moving around and trying to pretend to be asleep throughout. Do you recall anything about that?
No.
So are you aware if anything else took place?
If it did, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember.
From my point of view, this is a very clear Section 1 rape. He has had sexual activity with that girl without consent.
Didn't the forensic swabs prove anything?
Well, the forensic swabs have just been taken and they would eventually be sent to a lab, but we're not going to have those results today.
Right.
It's the breach of trust that is the most shocking part of this offence. She trusts her father enough and loves him enough to want to go and visit him, to want to, be comfortable enough to sleep in his bed and nothing happen, and then he's gone and breached that trust. I think that's one of the more disgusting things about the offence, is the breach of trust as well.
Do you have sexual feelings towards children?
No.
And when I say children, I mean even under the age of 16?
No, not at all. Okay.
I think I'd be lying if I said it didn't affect me. I'm kind of used to it from dealing with these types of investigations over the years, but I don't think you ever fully get hardened to it. And I had a bit of a feeling in my stomach when I was interviewing him, because we're describing horrendous things that have happened to somebody who's just a child.
Have you got anything else you want to add at this stage that you want to discuss? No? Okay.
There's been times as a detective I found it exceptionally tough. And I always try and come back to what am I trying to achieve when I go to work. I personally try and put it in towards, well, if I believe this person's done it, I'm going to do my utmost to get a conviction.
So, this part of the interview's concluded.
I think people's idea of sexual offences is, somebody walking down the street and getting dragged into a bush. But stranger rapes are far rarer than familial or acquaintance sexual offences. What I hope is that people have the courage to come forward and actually report those to us, to give us an opportunity to intervene, to prosecute where we can, and to actually signpost people to the right help where needed. I've seen multiple effects of sexual offending on victims over the years, but the effects are so traumatic that there's no doubt that they last a lifetime. I'm not entirely convinced I've seen anybody ever fully recover from one of these types of offences.
I've seen you, private parts, which I don't want to see, and nobody else wants to see it in the street either.
Of course, I was just joking around with my friends.
It's not, I don't find it funny.
The flasher has not come to police attention since the night he exposed himself.
We just came out here for a good night and then someone attacked my girlfriend sexually.
Police were unable to identify the clubgoer who assaulted Anastasia.
It won't stop me from going out, but it made me a bit more aware. You kind of have to be to take care of yourself.
The last time she went missing, they'd had, obviously, intercourse. Right. And that kind of stuff, and to me it's
concerning for you.
3 months after she went missing, Emily has a better relationship with her mum and a new boyfriend.
He's nice and just treats me so good.
And what does your mum think of your new relationship?
She loves him. She really does.
Because obviously she's saying, I've woke up and you are having sex with her as she's woke up.
The husband accused of raping his wife was not charged after she withdrew her support for a prosecution.
You're under arrest for sexual offences committed against your daughter.
The man accused of raping his daughter pleaded guilty and received a lengthy jail term.